just a bit harsh. Alright, first of all, thank you for all coming today. Obviously, you're either being invited by somebody else or seen the invites online. And just really great to have a room filled with plenty of people. We've got a few people running late, but hopefully you get a fair bit out today. So welcome. I'm not your speaker today, I'm not Jason. I'm just going to be introducing them. We've got two guest speakers today. The first we introduce is Jason Grossman. So the way I know Jason Grossman is he's been a business and life coach for me for 2.5 years, and the guy you're going to see today, he's a really genuine guy who just, his passion is to help people. I know that when I first started with him, I didn't really know much about the guy, but since then, we've become really good friends as well in the process, and he's helped me through, some hard times and through the good times as well. And today, he's actually going to share with you his story about his adversity and how he overcame it. Author of the newly published book, Streets to a Millionaire. Today, he's going to talk to you about the psychology of success. So, where you're at the moment, where you want to get to, and whatever you want to achieve in life, you're going to get something really great out of today. Now, before we start, however, there's only one way to get the guy out here. He doesn't just come out and just say, when I go, all right, Jason, come out. The only way he comes out is when there's a lot of noise and a lot of energy in the room. Now, look, today is an interactive workshop, so what we want is for people in the room to have an open mind and to be interactive and participate in today. Can we do that, guys?
Yes!
Come on, can we do that, guys?
Yes!
Can we do that, guys?
Yes!
That's better, excellent. So look, the only way we can actually get him out here, like I said, is to make as much noise and as much energy as we possibly can in the room. Now, the way to do that, we can stand up, we can bang on the chairs, we can walk whistle, we can yell, whatever it takes. Look, if it's not loud enough, he won't come out, unfortunately. So, we need to make sure it's as loud as possible. We've got to make sure there's as much energy as possible. Let's get ourselves into state today, guys. Let's have a really good time. And along the way, let's try and change our mindsets and set ourselves for success. Yeah?
Yeah!
Alright, on the count of 3, we're going to make as much noise and have as much energy as we possibly can. On the count of what?
3!
On the count of?
3!
On the count of?
3!
Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3. Much love. I've got a round of applause for that incredible introduction by Ben. Dragged you here. Alright, I'm going to take a seat for the consumerism. My name is Jason Grossman. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you so much. I flew in today from the Gold Coast through Melbourne, and I came in today. I've taken precious time out of my day to be with you guys. And I just want to say, I really mean it from the bottom of my heart when I say thank you. Taking time out of your precious day to be here as well. It's a bit corny. You may or may not get used to that. But I'm here today to spend about 3 hours. How long?
3
Oh my God, I'm here. I know the weather's outside, right? So I'm here. We're going to spend about 3 hours. How long?
3 hours
together, okay? So we're going to get comfortable, and I'm going to make it interactive. I'm going to make a little what, please?
Interactive.
I'm going to make it little noise. We have 3. You do realise that I can see you all, but we've got 3 hours. We've got 3 hours to get here. So this thing, I've got 2 intentions. How many intentions? 2. 2 intentions that I want to fulfill for you today. The first one. You want to know what the first one is? No? Do you want to know what the first one is?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty relentless. We'll just keep going. You know that, right? So, the first intention I have for today is to help you align your psychology for success and make it easier to fast-track the results you want in an area of your life. Sound good or good, yes? Yeah. It sounds good to the person next to you. Say that sounds good.
That sounds good.
That's good.
My second intention, please.
That's
Second.
not bad.
Oh my goodness. My second intention. We've still got 3 hours, that's fine. My second intention for today is to give you a vehicle. A what, please?
Vehicle.
Offer you an opportunity via a vehicle, to create a platform, and launch that success. If I told you you could fast-track your success, achieve your dreams, your goals that you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years by as much as double or triple, would that be cool? Cool? Would that be cool?
Yeah.
You're in the right spot. Turn to the person next to you, say you're in the right place.
You're in the right place.
You know
There's a reason. I'm going to get you to engage with physiology, neurology, and we're going to interact. Why do you think I would do that? Why do you think I would do that? There's 2 reasons. How many reasons? 2. Okay. Who wants to leave here today in 3 hours and go, shit, excuse my language, can I say shit now later? Yep. Cool, okay, cool. Shit, I wasted 3 hours of my life, I can't believe it. I wasted that 3 hours on that bloody Jason guy on the left. Who wants to do that? Who wants to? No, of course not. Who wants to get the most out of today? Who wants to learn and leave here and go, man, that was a potentially a life-changing seminar. Who would like to do that? Of course. So, alright, so I want to make a bit of a pact here. I want us to get on the same level and interact with each other, okay? So I'm going to get you to engage with physiology, and a couple of things I'm going to ask of you to play all out. So play what, please? All out. Play all out and go all in. The first thing is, I'm going to get you to finish my sentence. Finish my sentence. Repeat my words. Repeat my what, please? Words. Okay, 2 reasons I'm going to get you engaged today. The first reason is I want you to be in a peak state. What kind of state, please? Peak state. Peak state. Let me ask you a question. When you're on a treadmill and you start running, what happens to your heartbeat? It gets faster. Why? Why does it get faster? It's working. Why? Because it wants to, it's going to pump what? Blood. What's in the blood? Oxygen. Where's it sending 2/3 of that oxygenated blood to?
Your brain.
To the brain. Why? So it can perform, can think. Okay? So I want to put you guys in a peak state. What kind of state? Peak state. Okay, who wants to get the most out today by show of hands? Who came here because you want to learn by show of hands? Yeah? I want you to get the most out of today. So I want you to be, the mind's like a parachute. It only works when? It only works when open. So I want you to be open-minded. So the first thing is I want you to be in a peak state so you can learn the most from today. Is that cool? Get the most from today. Is that okay? Okay, the second thing is I want you to be artful. I'm thinking, what is art? By putting you in a peak state, by engaging your physiology, yeah, we can get the blood flowing, promote oxygen flow to the brain, and we can become artful. Yeah? What does that mean? Well, I want you to become like sponges, and what do sponges do? Absorb. They absorb things, right? Who here wants to absorb some information and some knowledge today by show of hands? Yeah? Of course, right? So I want you to, has there been a time, ladies, when you've been talking to your partner and speaking to them and it goes in one ear and out the other? Anyone? Yeah, of course, right? So I want you to absorb it by putting you in a peak state and getting you to engage with physiology and participate to what, please? To what, please?
Participate.
Guys, you want to get the most out of today or not? Yes, if you don't, you may as well leave now. It's pretty direct, but yeah? You want to get the most out of today? Want to learn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You're in the right place then. I want you to absorb. I want you to become like a sponge and absorb everything I have to say. Okay? Next thing is by putting you in a peak state, it's going to allow you to remember. Remember. Okay? Who can remember where you were 25th of March last year? One person, awesome, right? Who can remember where you were, basically what you did for your birthday last year? Who can remember that? Then why? What's the difference? You've got emotions attached to it, yeah? Yeah? So motion creates emotion. Does that make sense? Yeah? And emotion allows us to remember more. Does that make sense as well? Yeah. So by putting you into a peak state, what kind of state?
Peak state.
What kind of state?
Peak.
A peak state, it'll allow you to absorb, to what please? Absorb more information and to remember. Who wants to absorb and remember as much as possible today? Yeah, cool. So I'm going to get you to play all out. Play what please? All out. At what percent? Are you prepared to give it 100%? I don't believe you guys. Are you prepared to give it 100%? Yes or yes? Yes. That's cool. Okay, the third thing, what's the third thing? I'm going to get you to take what? Anybody guess? Okay. Take action. Cool. So this is the thing. I could share with you some really incredible life-changing skills and knowledge and give you all these tools and tactics and strategies. Does that guarantee you success? No. What if you leave here? What if you leave here and you've got this great knowledge, we don't apply it? Are you going to get results in life? No. So I want to put you in a peak state. What kind of state? Peak. By getting you engaged, Thank you, the 3 of you. Getting you engaged. We've got 3 hours. I'm relentless. 3 hours to absorb, remember, and then when you leave, you actually take action. To actually take action, okay? And more importantly, not action, massive action, yeah? Massive action. So, can everyone agree that if you want to get the most out of today, they're going to play out all at 100%, yeah? Engage in physiology and participate 100%. Who's willing, yes? Yes. Everyone say yes? Yes. The person next to you, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Awesome. Just a couple of quick things. So, obviously the mind's like a parachute. If it's not open, it's not open. Okay, so, that's not it, but that's cool. Who's heard of Tony Robbins before? Who's heard of Tony Robbins? So I was at a Tony Robbins seminar a few years ago, and Tony Robbins, brilliant man, legendary man, changed millions and millions of lives, right? Incredible what he does. And you're talking about learning. Who wants to learn today? Yeah, but learning's not enough, you know. You've got to go and apply. And anyway, Tony Robbins in the seminar was saying that there's 3 words. How many words? 3 words that will guarantee you will not learn anything today. If you want to kill your learnings, then use these 3 words today. And this is what he said. You all know what the 3 words are?
Yes.
Some of you already know. He said that if you think or use these 3 words throughout today, you will kill off any chance of learning anything after that. The 3 words are this. I know that. I know that. So, during today, I'm going to share stuff with you that you already know and you already do. Yes? Welcome, guys. Today, I'm also going to share stuff with you that you don't know and you don't do and that's new to you. Does that make sense?
Yep.
You with me? Awesome. Okay, so, I want you to play 100%. So, I'm going to be artful. I'm going to put you in a peak state. Let me ask you this. Who's heard of Bruce Lee? Who's heard of Bruce Lee? Bruce Lee used to have a favourite saying. And actually it's my favourite saying. It's not his. He used to have a different favourite saying. I used to say this. Want to know what it is, by the way?
Yeah.
It's called the Zakat Shem. He used to say this. He who knows not, and knows not that he knows not, he is a fool. Shun him. He who knows not, and knows that he knows not, he is simple. Teach him. He who knows and knows not that he knows, he is asleep, awaking him. But he who knows and knows that he knows is wise. Follow him. And not only is that a tongue twister to remember, but it's a pretty cool statement. What does that mean? So today, I'm going to share information with you. What, please? Share information with you. And a little voice is going to pop inside your head and say, I already know that. Now, if you do that, I want you to just recognise that and go, thank you, and just put that aside. Because I want you to get the most out of today. Who wants to get the most out of today? Yes, I'm going to talk a little faster and be a little more intense because I want to jam pack. I want to jam what? Pack as much information as possible into today. Okay, cool. So, can everyone agree that you're going to give 100% today and play it all out and get the most out of the next 3 hours, yes?
Yes.
Now today it won't be the information I share with you, it'll be the aha moments, creative ideas, the juices that flow in your mind. It'll be you, it won't be me. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Before we get started, you guys ready to get started? Yeah. You guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
First thing to say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Before I do this, okay, I'm going to share a quick story. Is that cool? Can I share a quick story?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Once upon a time there was this teenage boy. Once upon a time there was this teenage boy. And he was in year 11. How old are you when you're in year 11?
17.
17, 16, 15, depends where you are. Sorry, excuse me. Are we able to, would you be able to, yes please, thank you so much. Yeah. Sorry, thank you so much. Once upon a time, this is a teenage boy, and it was year 11. He's in year 11. How old are you when you're in year 11?
16.
16, he was turning 16. And in the first term, which term? In the first term, he went to school, I think it was like in the 2nd week, and he got into a fight with a fellow student. And after that fight, he got suspended. He got suspended for about a week, got kicked out of school for a week, came back home, spent a week at home, and he went back to school. Within the first few weeks of the first term of year 11, within the first 2 weeks of year 11, he then picked up a stool. Picked up a stool, like this one here, picked up a stool and threw it straight at his teacher. Threw it straight at his teacher. And of course, what happened then? He got suspended. It was like he got suspended. He got suspended, went home, came back a week or so later, went back to school, and this time he got caught at the back of the class, drinking a cask of wine at the back of the class. In the classroom, back of the class. 3 times, first term, principal's office, parents, he was given an ultimatum, shape up or ship out. So this time he wasn't suspended, he was expelled. So he got expelled, he's 15, turning 16, and he was at home, and then he started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and started smoking pot and drinking alcohol and taking drugs and being mischievous. And one day he came home and he had bloodshot red eyes, and his mum noticed this. Could you shut this door, please? And he noticed this. he came home and his eyes were bloodshot red. And his mum's like, you're starting to waste, aren't you? And he wasn't clever enough back then to know about clear eyes, right? So he got into this argument with his mum. Got into an argument with his mum, and she was yelling at him, and he was yelling back at her. And she ended up slapping him across the face. She slapped him across the face. And has there ever been a time where you've just instantly reacted without thinking to something? Have you ever done that? Yeah. You just kind of react. And so, in the heat of the moment, and in the anger of the moment, and as a reaction, his mum slapped him across the face. And his automatic reaction was he just pushed her flying into a wall. And he didn't even think it. Just after he did it, he's like, I just can't believe I did that. I pushed the person that I love the most in this world into a wall. How can I do that? How can someone that is a caring human being do that? And he's like, I just don't understand it. Has anyone done something like that before? You just kind of reacted, and afterwards you're like, come on. And you could blame the drugs, but that doesn't excuse it, right? Anyway, when she got up, she said, get your I can say shit now, right? Get your shit, get your stuff, and get out of here. Get the hell out of my house, right? Get out of my home. So he got his backpack, put his backpack on, and he left. Home. Now, when you get kicked out of home and you dropped out of school and you're 15, 20, 16, where do you go first?
Mate's.
Sorry?
Mate's house.
You go to mate's house, thank you. You go to mate's house, yeah? You go to your mate's house, but how long does it take before you're at your mate's house before your mate's parents realise you're a douche? How long? Not long, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3 days. So, next mate's house, next mate's house, next mate's house, yeah? But before too long, you had nowhere to what? You had nowhere to stay. No more mate's house. Right? So where do you think you went?
Streets.
Cool. He started sleeping on bus stops and anywhere he can find. And in fact, there was one night he couldn't find anywhere to sleep, so he crept under this bush and worked out it was a -2-degree night. And in the morning, went and bummed a couple of dollars to go and get a coffee just to warm up because his hands were really purple. And a few months later, within a few months later, came across a new group of friends, and all these new group of friends were heroin addicts. And over the upcoming weeks and months, he formed a $1,000 a day heroin addiction. $1,000 a day heroin. Who would like to earn $1,000 a day? I'd like to earn $1,000 a day. Who doesn't want to earn $1,000 a day? This is a true story, by the way. He formed a $1,000 a day heroin addiction. Is that on camera? Yeah. $1,000 a day. Now, where do you think he got that $1,000 a day from? Stealing. Prostitution. Not quite. Pretty much everything's but, right? Stealing, yeah, robbing. In fact, there's even a time that he did an armed robbery to get the money that he couldn't pay for it. Yeah. Then one morning he wakes up and he's in a really strange place. He's like, where am I? And someone walks towards him and he realizes in a hospital was a nurse. It's like, what happened? And he'd actually overdosed and he nearly died. Okay? So he got out, he actually snuck out and he left. And do you think the teenage boy was smart enough after that first overdose to stop and quit? No. Now, we're pretty intelligent species as human beings, aren't we? Yeah, no, we normally like 2 or 3 or 4 days before we work it out sometimes. Okay? But not even a few weeks later, he wakes up again in the hospital. This time he's like, oh, I must have overdosed, right? So he got out of the hospital again and he left. And do you think this time after the second time overdosing, that he was smart enough to quit completely? So a few weeks kept going on, he kept his addiction going, and it got worse and worse. And because heroin wasn't harsh enough and serious enough, he tried something called home bake. I'm hoping no one knows what that means, that's good. Home bake is homemade heroin. Okay? He wakes up in the hospital, but this time something feels different, he can't explain it, he don't know what it is. And he asks the nurses, what happened? Something doesn't feel right. The nurse said, we lost you. You were clinically dead for almost 3 minutes. You're lucky to be here, we don't know how you're here. And sometimes things happen in our life after 2, 3, 4, 20 times, and you go, enough is enough, right? So he snuck out of hospital, and he made the decision. He made the what, please? Decision. He made the decision that he was going to stop and go cold turkey without stay here. That decision. And boys, men, when you're in trouble, who do you call? Not the Ghostbusters. Mum, yeah, that's right, Mum. Hey, Mum, I've made a decision. I've got no money, I've got no job, I've got nothing but clothes on my back, but I don't even have a backpack or anything. I've made a decision that I really need your help. I've got no one else to turn to. I need to get to heroin. She reluctantly took him in. First night he stayed there wasn't too bad. Second night he was there. I was staying there, and Has anyone seen movies or known a heroin addict and seen them coming off and see the cold shakes and how they go? That's no over-exaggeration. Hey, it's full on. On the second night, it was quite bad. It was quite tough. It was going through a lot of pain. There was a lot of suffering. And no mum wants to see their child, no matter what they've done or been through, go through that kind of pain. So the mum went and got a couple of Valium. Right? So here's a couple of Valium. Here's 2 Valium to try and ease the pain. It's 2 Valium going to help ease the pain of a $1,000 a day heroin addiction. Is it really? No, of course not. A teenage boy, right, being a smart teenage boy, is like, you know what? Well, there's 2, there must be 4. So he snuck into the mum's bedroom and he found the bottle, opened up the bottle, and had the whole bottle. Took the whole bottle. Does anyone know how many's in a bottle? 50. Right? So there was probably a couple gone, so it would have been 40 to 50 Valiums, right? That's enough for some people to overdose, maybe even die. Okay? And then something happened, he just snapped, he went outside, saw a barbell, picked up this barbell, started smashing at stuff, right? And then in the distance he sees an axe, he runs over to the axe, he picks up his axe. Right? Remember, this is a true story. He picks up this axe and he starts cutting at trees at first, and then at cars, and then at doors, and going rampant on the street. He had no idea what he was doing because of the drugs. Totally lost it. No conscious awareness of what he was doing at all. And then he hears something, and it catches his attention. And he can see something in the distance. And he can see 2 people talking, and in the doorway, there's yelling. And it's his mum and her husband. And he walks towards with the axe, and he can hear, "Put the axe down or I'm going to shoot you." And his mum's husband had a shotgun and was threatening to shoot this teenage boy that had this axe in his hand. Now, do you think the teenage boy cared? You know, with an axe in his hand, rampant, no idea what he's doing, whacked off heroin and Valium. Do you think he cared about a shotgun? No. Not at all, right? So what did he do? He was like a bull, he was like a raging bull. He saw red, right, ran straight towards him, with the axe. The mum screaming, "Don't shoot him, I'm going to shoot him, he's got the axe, running towards the door." And as he starts bolting towards the door, just about to get to the door slams shut, mum pulls him in, and he's about to cut at the door, and something catches his attention on the left here, and pushed up against the glass, two faces. And it was 2 younger sisters. Faces pressed up against the glass. They'd been watching the whole ordeal. But these 2 sisters looked up to him. He was their mentor, their confidant, the person that they loved most in the world, and they looked to for advice and so forth. And he came to and realised what he was doing. He dropped the axe. He fell to one knee on the floor. Came to and he realised that right now he was at a crossroads. He has a decision to make. He can go down one of either path. He can keep doing the things he's doing and go down the path of death, imprisonment, pain, worse. Or right now, he can decide to not continue down that path and choose to do something with his life, choose to do something great, to make a difference, and go down a new path. If you haven't already worked it out, the teenage boy was myself. And granted it was some time ago, but you can choose the path that you know you're meant to walk, you're destined to walk. I don't know most of you guys. I don't know what your story is, but I do know this. This is going to sound a little corny, but you are special. And you have greatness within you. You really do. I say that because I mean it. You're here today, you've showed up. And no matter what you've been through, I don't know your story. I know you've all got one. You've got to think about it now. People that you love have died. Kids, illness, sickness, death, cancer, financial hardship, bankruptcy, the list goes on and on. It's tough. I know life can be really tough. It creates a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Yeah. But your past does not equal your future. And I'm here today to tell you that no matter what you've been through and what your story is, you can achieve anything you desire and anything you dream of. And that's what today is really about for me. I hope you guys understand that your dreams are possible, and help you get clear today on your dreams. Yeah, help you create a map towards achieving them. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You know, I truly believe that each person in this room is taking the time out of their day to be here today because you're looking for something more. You're looking for a new path. Maybe might not be that much different to what you're doing, but who wants more in life? Who wants something more? Who's looking for something greater? I don't know about you, but ever since I was young, I felt like I was meant to be something special, something unique. I was meant to change lives and help people. Who's ever felt like that? That you're meant to, but somewhere along the way, when we were kids, we had all these dreams. Yeah? But somewhere along the way of growing up, we lose sight of those dreams. We hear too many no's and it's not possible. We get these setbacks and these failures. You're going to fail. I love what Les Brown says. Who's heard of Les Brown? I love what he says. Les Brown, he's a brilliant man. He says that, if you get knocked down, you shouldn't land on your back, because if you can see up, you can
Get up.
You can get up. Getting knocked down is a given, but getting back up is a choice. No matter what pain or suffering you're going through right now, or where you've been, you can turn it around. If you're breathing, then it's possible. This is the thing, billions of people are going to die, never ever taking the first step towards achieving their dreams, let alone actually achieving it. But you have a choice today to be one of those 2%, the 2% of people that will do whatever it takes. Mediocrity is not a comparison to anyone else. Mediocrity is when you settle for a life that's anything less than you're capable of living or deserve. And whatever you are doing now, you know in your heart of hearts, if you're truly honest with me and yourself, that you could and should be doing more. And not just for you, but for your family, for your community. Today I'm going to share with you two things. I'm going to talk to you about how you can work out your dreams and then how to fast track them. I'm going to help you align your psychology with success. In a moment I'm going to show you a process that not even Paul and the other guys have seen here before, because it's a process that I've put together and designed. You'll notice certain elements or facets of it, but it's the most holistic process that I've ever seen on the psychology of success. It takes NLP, and it takes a whole heap of different psychological modalities into consideration, and I've created a gestalt. What, please? A gestalt, a full program. Who's ever tried and failed? Yeah? Who's ever, you don't have to raise your hand, who's ever had a marriage or relationship and failed? Who's ever failed in business? Who's ever failed in your job? What if I could show you a way today to never ever fail again? What if I could show you that? Yeah? There's only two ways to fail. Want to know what they are? The first way is to quit. We already know that. And the second way is if you don't understand and use this process. All the most successful, this is the thing. Success, I believe, without fulfillment is failure. And you might be living a happy and content life right now, but are you truly fulfilled? Are you truly fulfilled? And I know it's a bit corny, but that's what today is about. Okay. So, everyone got a piece of pen and paper? Everyone got paper? Anyone not got paper by show of hands? Whoa! Ben. Get some paper up, please. Don't get two people. Second person. Everybody grab a pen and paper.
Oh, let's go.
Guys? I'll put that I want you to write down, what's the biggest dream or biggest goal? I just want you to write down a big dream or goal that you have right now, right on that piece of paper. Right on that piece of paper, please. As you write that, a couple of things might be happening. I don't know what I want. So write down the first thing that comes to mind. Nothing might be happening. I'm not going to do it. I'm too cool to write down. I don't know whether you're writing that thing down or not. It makes no difference to me. It makes a difference to you though. You're not going to write down magic things now because you're not going to get anything out today. Whatever you write down, I'm going to help you increase the speed at which you achieve that by up to triple the speed. Would that be okay? Yeah. I'm also going to show you how to align psychology for success to make sure that you do achieve it. Is that cool? Yeah. No? Yeah. You guys good? Anyone not got paper? Still, Jared's got paper. Anyone not got paper? Anyone not written down a dream or a goal yet? There's people that don't have paper, of course. Alrighty. Okay, so let's do this. Please take the next 10 more seconds for these guys getting paper. Write down a big goal or dream you want to achieve in the next 5 years. Here's some other ones. Do you want to launch a charity? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to launch a new business? Is it a career that you want to pursue? Is it a personal achievement? A sporting achievement? What is that big goal? There's no rules. What is that thing? Anyone not got one down yet? Has anyone not got it down, just not raising their hand because I don't want to be the only one raising their hand? No? Okay, cool. Okay, here's the thing. What if I could show you, who's ever tried something and failed before? What if I could show you over the next 20, 30 minutes why that is? What if I could show you a process that would mean you would never ever fail, and if you do, you know why you failed? Would that be cool?
Yes.
Okay, here's the cool thing. is this?
Spots.
There's a blue dot. Okay. Here's the thing. So you have that dream. Let's say that I'm going to use a metaphor to explain this process. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, the brain likes metaphor. So let's say that I've got a seed in my hand and it's a mango seed, right? Well, the seed's not delicious, but the mango seed will hopefully give me delicious mangoes. So I've got a seed in my hand, right? So I've got the seed. The seed is the start of all creation for those mangoes. Does that make sense? So if you've written down your dream or your goal, what is the start of all creation for that? What is the very first starting point
Thought.
for that? Who said that, sir?
Idea.
Thank you. Yes, it's a thought. So everything starts in the form of a thought. Everything starts in the form of a thought. So you have an idea of what, please? A what, please?
Idea.
So let's say you have this seed, and I want you to imagine that that seed, that mango seed, is the thought or the idea. Does that make sense? Yep. So we have a thought on it. So who, for example, had the thought or idea that we're going to come today? Now, how many people do you think that are not here that have the same thought and idea? A lot, right? So does having a thought and idea mean you've got to achieve it? No. Does writing down that dream, that goal, guarantee you're going to achieve it? No. In fact, only a handful of you people are probably going to achieve that. Yeah? Does that make sense? So, everything starts in the form of a thought or an idea. So you have a thought or you have an idea. Yeah? And that's the inspiration. So you get inspired to come here today. But how many people would be inspired to come that didn't come today? Many, right? So it's not enough. So if I have the mango seed in my hand, if I want to take the next step to get it growing, what do I need to do? What do I need to do with the seed?
Plant it.
I need to plant it. So I need to plant the seed, right? So if the seed is the thought or the idea, that's the inspiration. Let's say for this metaphor that the seed is your dream that you've written down. That's the seed. You've got the thought, the idea, inspiration on a piece of paper. I have plenty of notes here too. We're going to plant it. So what's the difference between you guys that had the thought and the idea to come here, that came here, and the people that didn't come here? What's the difference between you guys and the people that didn't come here?
Yeah,
You made a what?
Took action.
Yeah, but before you took the action, you made a what?
Decision.
You made a decision. Yeah? Do you act before making a decision? At least at the unconscious level. It's not possible. Yeah? Even the people that just moved their hand, you made the unconscious decision to move your hand. You might not have consciously been thinking about it, but you did, right? So before you can take action, we need to make a decision. So what we need to do is we need to decide. So the next step for you guys in achieving whatever you wrote down, yeah, before taking action and how to and how am I going to do it and this voice inside your head and all that kind of stuff, what am I going to do? Is just decide. It's just decide that you're going to pursue it relentlessly until you achieve it. Does that make sense? Yeah. So this is the challenge with this part. So this is where people go wrong. I want to have clarity. I want to be clear on what I want before I decide I'm going to go after it. Does that make sense? So imagine if this, before you came today, you said, I want to have clarity on exactly what's going to be happening over the 3 hours, yeah, before I make a decision to come. It's not possible, right? The only way we can get that is coming. Does that make sense? So a lot of people, what they want to do is they want to get clarity, and then I'll make a decision. So let's say whatever your dream or goal is that you wrote down, you want to get clarity on how that works, whatever, and then you're going to make a decision. How much time are you going to waste? How much are you going to procrastinate? Is it going to lead to the results you want? So you've just got to decide and have trust and faith that that's what you want, just know you want. So you've got to give it 100%. So we've got to make you've got to make a decision. Who's prepared today to do whatever it takes and make the decision to relentlessly pursue that goal or dream you just wrote down and achieve it in the next 3 to 5 years? Who's prepared to decide? All you need to do is go, yes, I decide.
Yes.
Yes. If that's you, say yes.
Yes. Yes.
Prepared to decide to pursue it 100%, say yes.
Yes.
Not 60, not 70, not 80%. How much percent? 100%. Only when you truly decide. Now some of you are sitting there saying yes, but in your mind you're going, no. Okay, well, that's cool. That's what this process is about. So we decide, that plants the seed, that plants the mango seed. So if I plant the mango seed, yeah, what do I need to do now? What needs to happen for that to grow?
Nurture.
It needs 3 things, doesn't it? So what was the first one? Water? Sun? What's the third one?
Oxygen.
It's already planted?
Yeah.
Well, we'll get oxygen from the photosynthesis, I guess. And what's the third one? Call it food, right? Food or fertilizer. So 3 things the plant really needs. It needs to grow, right? 3 main things. Would you agree? So this is what it needs. So from the metaphor perspective, this is the idea. This is the dream. Yeah, that's the seed. We plant it through making decisions. This makes sense, guys?
Yeah.
Stick with me. I know it's a little bit. Take notes. This is the strategy, the action items that we need to do. We need to water it, make sure it's getting sunlight. We need to feed it. Does that make sense? How often do we need to do this? How often do we need to take this action?
Every day.
Every day, yeah? What about Sundays? There's church and stuff on Sunday, sport. What about Sunday?
Yeah.
What about Easter?
Yeah.
What about Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, Christmas. What about Mother's Day? Can't be Mother's Day. What about Mother's Day?
Yeah.
Every day, right? You've got to do it how often?
Every day.
How often?
Every day.
Now, how long does that stuff really take? Does it take 24 hours in a day?
No.
No, how long? A few minutes?
Yeah.
Good. It's like your dream. So this is the thing. So you've planted your mango seed, yeah? You've had the idea, the inspiration, you planted it, yeah? You made the decision. Now you've got to go up. The first day you get up, water, food. Second day, water, food. Third day, someone says boo, yeah? Or you're faced with a problem. You get a phone call. You get a Facebook message. An ex calls you up. Your mum's got needs help moving something, whatever it is. You miss a day, what happens? If we miss one day, what's not going to happen to that seed? Okay, so you've got 24 hours a day, and all it takes is a couple of minutes, yeah? Is this starting to make sense metaphorically? This is your dream, this is what we do. So think of this as the strategy. This is your how-to, right? This is your how-to. This is your strategy. So what a lot of people do is they go, oh man, I'm going to chase my dreams. I've got my vision board, I've got it on my fridge every day, and I've made a decision to do it, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do all the stuff that I need to. But what's going to happen? One day you're going to wake up and you go, oh man, I just could do a Game of Thrones marathon and eat multis on the couch today. Right? Something happens, right? Personal stuff happens. So what do we need to do to ensure that we make this happen, that we take action every day? We need to do what? We need to feel. We need to be motivated to take action. So it's all about understanding that some days you're going to wake up and you just can't be asked, right? It's going to happen, right? So we need two things. How many things? Two. We need two things. We need to understand, first of all, is our why. So we know what we want. We've made a decision to go after it. Yes, we started on the action items, doing whatever's necessary with the plan, the strategy and so forth, the how-to. But one day we're just going to wake up or something's going to happen and we're not going to feel motivated. The key to motivating ourselves is two elements to motivation. We know what they are. We know what they are?
Yes.
The fuel for the fire that motivates us to jump out of bed every single day, take massive action, yeah, build unstoppable momentum and transform our dreams into reality is our why and our purpose. You've probably heard that before, right? You've heard that before. Okay? But that's not enough. This is a total package. You've got to do all this. So we need to understand that it's our why. So we need to do three things with our why. How many, please?
Three.
Let's take lots of notes. You want to look back on this. So the first thing is we need to clarify our why. Clarify why. We're going to do this shortly. We're not going to do it now. We need to understand our why. And it can't be just about, I want money. There's no emotional muscle. There's no emotional pull. There's no emotional drive. We need to clarify our why. We need to get clear on what it is. Is it your kids? Is it your family? Is it contribution to society? For me, I have two. How many, please? Two. How many, please? Two. Okay, I have two whys. My first why is that growing up, I did a lot of terrible things. I feel I owe the community and society a bit of debt. I've got to give back. I want to go out and change millions of lives, inspire them to live their dream lifestyle. That's my passion. That's what I want to do. So my first why is I want to go out and I want to change lives because I don't want people to go through all the stuff that I went through when I was younger. If I can help them get through that or avoid those mistakes, then that's a good contribution. The second part is I don't have kids yet. I am the oldest of 10. Okay, so we've got a big family. We went to Disneyland together last year. We've done all kinds of things, right? But when I do have kids, who has kids? How cool would it be to see the first step and hear the first words and be able to go on trips to Rome and Disneyland with them if and when they're old enough and to spend quality time with them and that's what's really important. When you agree? That's what's really important. So what's your why? You need to clarify that. The second part is we need to manifest. We need to what, please? Manifest. We need to manifest our why. How do we manifest our why? So my true passion, no, my magnificent obsession is to work with you and go, what are your dreams? What's your dream? Because anything you perceive to be a dream up until now has been there, has been outside of your realm of reality. Extract that, bring that into your realm of reality, create a specific how-to action plan to make it work, track and monitor it, rely on psychology for success, and have someone that's already been there keep you accountable to achieving it. Does that make sense? Okay, so we want to how do we manifest it? Well, imagine if your why was so strong, like I believe, so some people have this tiny little pilot light within them, right? Just going through life, mediocre life, comfort zone, not really doing much, not really, content but not really fulfilled. And then some people have this massive enraged flame, right? Like Richard Branson's and Oprah Winfrey's, and these guys just have that energy about them. The reason why is they manifest their why, and they turn their passions into an obsession, a healthy, magnificent obsession. Does that make sense? So, imagine if the first thing you thought about in the morning when you woke up was that dream, yeah? And the last thing you thought about before you went to bed was that dream, yeah? How cool would that be? And we manifest that through strategies that I talk about in the book, yeah? Talk about that shortly. And the third part, which part? You guys still with me?
Yeah.
Is this interesting?
Yeah.
Tell the person that you say it's interesting. It's interesting. The third part is we want to intensify. What, please? Intensify. We want to intensify. How do we do that? Well, what we want to do is we want to emotionalize it. What do we want to do? Emotionalize. What we want to do is we want to visualize the future having already achieved it. And notice how it makes us feel. We want to attach emotions. When thoughts become emotionalized, they become magnetized. I'm not going to get into too much depth. All this stuff is in this book. I do have about 10 here. It's $30. If you want to grab one later, come and see me. I'll give you a signed book. Well, I won't give it to you. You buy it for $30. But that's cool. I've only got about 10, so I'll talk about that after the fact. So, clarify your why, manifest your why, intensify your why. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. I'm just giving you the basic structure. The basic what, please? Structure. Again, I'll go through the depth in the book and in other things that we do as well. So that's your why. So we've now, right, we've planted the seed, yeah, we've had the idea, we've got the dream, we've made a decision, nothing's going to stop me now from achieving my dream. You tell me I can't achieve it? Right, let's go, right? And then, alright, and so we water, we feed, and that's all happening, and we know our why. First thing we think about when we get up every morning, last thing we think about when we go to bed, right? Yeah, so you can't stop me, my why, so right. Does that guarantee you're going to be successful? No. Does that guarantee you're going to achieve that? No, it doesn't guarantee. There's another part here. There's another element going on. Anyone had much involvement or understanding of NLP, the linguistic program? Anyone much? Okay. In NLP, some of you might have heard Tony Robbins talk about it, that why is the fuel for the fire? Yes, it motivates us to get through the tough times, because there's going to be days when you're sick, right? There's a couple of people in this room I know that aren't well, and they're here. Thank you for coming. That's commitment. You know you've decided, right? Okay? So thank you for coming. Having that why will motivate you and it'll get you through those tough times where you just feel sick or a loved one's passed or you're financially it's just so tough you can't even afford it. I've been so broke, I had to get flour and water and make damper and live off damper, right? Who's been that? No one wants to put their hand up. Who's been that way making a bed? How can live off minute noodles, right? Okay, yeah, of course, right? I didn't want to make today about success, my success. I wanted to make it more about the mistakes I made. This book it's exactly what this is. I've just made a list of my 20 biggest mistakes, put my learnings in there. Yeah? I'll talk more about some of the cool things I have done over the last few years shortly though as well. So we'll get our why. But there's something missing, isn't there? Who thinks there's something missing by a show of hands? Yeah? Because what's going on at the unconscious level, whether you know it or not, is that every single little action, every single little thought, every single little thing that's going on at the unconscious level, yeah, is being driven, yeah, or influenced by moving towards pleasure or away from pain. Who said that before? Yeah? Now I'm going to show you something in a really cool way. I need a guy and a girl. A guy and a girl. Guy and a girl, quick, first guy. Yeah, and a girl. Yeah, come on. Yeah. So just quickly introduce yourself.
Matt.
Yeah? Say hi, Matt. Hi. We've got Diana coming. Just come down to the front. We've got Diana here.
Diana.
Hi. Say hi, Diana. Hi. Give these guys a round of applause and real applause. I'm going to use a demo. You know what we're doing? Did you do slides on? Okay, so we're going to go. So Diana is pleasure. Okay? Yeah. Guess what you are? Pain. Face this way. So, do you remember this guy's name? Who have we got here? Matt. And who have we got here? Pleasure. Okay, I'm going to use a visual representation here. So everything you do based on moving towards pleasure or pain. It's not that simple. A lot of people talk about this, they talk about pleasure or pain, how it's the be-all and end-all. There's a lot more going on. This is only one small part of this entire process. Does that make sense? Yeah. There's a lot more going on. In NLP it's called a meta program, which is a conceptual filter, how we sort and I won't talk about that, that's fine. So let's say that, for example, if this is pleasure, like euphoria, amazing, this is so much pain, suffering, I'm borderline suicidal. If this is measured along the continuum, so this is like a scale. So if I'm in the middle, what am I? If I'm in the middle, neutral. I'm neutral. Perfect. Thank you so much. Neutral. So many people got that. Good. Smart car. So neutral. So if I'm neutral, that's measured along the continuum, like a scale, like you turn the volume up on the TV or something like that. So if I take a step, what's happening? I'm feeling more what? Pain. More pain. More pain. More pain. More pain. So much pain, right? Yeah. If I'm neutral, some people might call neutral content. Yeah, some people might call it neutral. Okay, we have different meanings for content. Content isn't a real thing, can't put it in a wheelbarrow. Everyone's going to have a different definition. Yeah, doesn't matter right or wrong, it's just different. Many people say discontent. So if I take one step, what is this? Pleasure. Yeah, and it's a little bit of joy, a little bit more what? Well, what guys, with me? Yeah. So much? Hello. Cool. You see why I'm going. So, I'll be there. So imagine this. So let's say in your, let's say this. So in the centre, I'm neutral. So if everything you do is motivated in one way or the other by moving towards and away from pain, this is everything. How do we determine what motivates us and what's the most powerful motivator, and how do we utilise this to our advantage? So if I could show you how to utilise this consciously to your advantage, would that be cool?
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. So if you get somebody that's really overweight, right? They've got 50 kilos to lose. There's personal trainers in the room? Personal trainers? There's a fair few, right? I've been in the industry for 15 years. So only when someone that's 30, 40, 50, 60 kilos overweight, only when the pain of the current lifestyle becomes greater than the journey, greater than the pain of the journey they must embark upon to lose that weight, only then will they make a decision. Does it make sense? So for you to get motivated and take action, we're normally motivated to move towards pleasure or away from pain. Which one? Away from pain. So let me explain this. So let's say that some of you guys might be thinking, well, I've got a goal, I've got my dream, I want to get financial freedom, I want to make money, I want to meet my soulmate or whatever. If that's what you're focusing on, and you're focusing on achieving that thing, then you're focused on being towards motivated. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now if I'm over here, if I'm focusing on that, I'm focusing on the pain of, am I focusing on what I want or what I don't want? If I'm focusing on what I don't want, what do I get more of? What I don't want, right? I'll explain to you like this. So, it'll all make sense as I wrap this up. You get a 6-month-old baby, and they touch a hot stove. What do?
Burn themselves.
Yeah, they burn themselves, and then they pull their hand away. But how far? Just far enough until they no longer feel what?
Pain.
And because it's the first time, then they're going to make sure. What do they do again? Go over again. And then they turn around and then they go towards their mum or whatever. So this is the thing. This is about pleasure and pain. Let me explain this way. So let's say you've got someone that you've got a lady, and her ideal weight, not mine, but her ideal weight. This is neutral. Okay, her ideal weight is say 60, but she normally hangs around 70 kilos. Does that make sense? This is her content ideal weight. She normally hangs around, it's what, 70 kilos, right? So 70 kilos, what happens is she's pretty comfortable at 70 kilos, okay? And then she sort of eats rubbish and doesn't train, and she puts on a bit of weight, she moves towards pain, and she has this weight thermostat where when she gets to a certain weight, at 80 kilos, she goes, oh, so much pain, freaks out. So she's thinking about the 80 kilos, she doesn't want the 80 kilos, creating a lot of pain in her life, so she starts going to the gym, she gets some personal trainers, starts eating well, she keeps moving away, focusing on what she doesn't want, and she gets back to where? Her comfort zone. What happens again? She gets back in the comfort zone, yeah, and then she goes, builds up, and you get these inconsistencies. We do this with money, we do this with relationships. Does this start to make sense?
Yeah.
Does this make sense, guys?
Yeah.
So when we focus on what we don't want, we only move away from it far enough until we no longer feel what?
Pain.
And what happens? We slowly get back into the habits and whatnot, and we get back to pain. So here's the thing. So who would like to create financial freedom, never have to worry about money again? Come on. Okay, cool. Who, you don't have to say it now, but who's ever been so broke you didn't know how you're going to buy dinner that night? Okay? What are you focusing on? You're focusing on, man, how am I getting food? I don't have food. Pain. So most people, when they first take action, they decide to lose weight. What do they focus on? The pleasure or pain? Most people. The pain. They focus on what they don't want. So I've made a decision. I've had the idea that I want to lose weight. I make the decision and I plant it. Yeah? I get the strategy in place, I get my why in place, I might get a personal trainer or something, and I start taking action. Am I focusing to begin with on the pleasure or pain? What I do want or don't want?
Pain.
I focus on what I don't want. So I take one step away from it. Okay, we're starting the process of taking action. How many steps in total have I taken on the journey so far?
One.
Which step is the hardest?
The
The first step, right? Because why? Because there's no movement or momentum yet. You're stuck. Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It makes more sense as we go on. So I take one step. Now the brain at the unconscious level is going, well, I've only taken one step. It's worked. What was I focusing on? Moving away from? So the brain automatically goes, what works? What does it say works? Towards pleasure or away from pain?
Away.
Right, so what do I do next?
Turn
Yeah?
around.
Okay, what do I feel less of?
Pain.
Okay, and I go again, and I get stuck, and then I get this. Does it make sense? So this is the key. Hear me now. This is going to be one of the most important things you hear today. Is that the most powerful motivator to take the first step, the hardest step, is to create so much pain, yeah, with your current situation in your money, your relationships, yeah, your health, your weight, whatever it is, that you plant a seed and you make a decision and you move away. Because pain creates hunger, yeah, and that's what allows us to take the first step. So we need to take the first step. This is where most people go wrong. That's what worked. Unconsciously, this is what's going on. People aren't aware of this consciously. So they keep going and then they get inconsistencies. From now on, you'll be aware of it. Yeah, we'll talk about this shortly. You're going to focus on moving away from what I don't want. But after the first step, what am I going to start focusing on?
What you do want.
What I do want. So I'm going to turn around and what? Go towards my mum or dad if I'm the little kid. Does this make sense? Yeah. So I now focus on what I do want. You guys with me?
Yes.
Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. I think this is pretty cool. It's really difficult to explain otherwise. I like this visual. I know you've been standing over there and I'm coming. Just stay there for me. Now I'm here. So I've turned around. So it's essentially the first step again, is it not? Is it not? It's pretty much the first step. So I'm focusing on what I want. So let's say that your dream is to start your own business or create financial freedom. I've got to focus on a payment. I'm so freaking broke, man. What am I going to do? I've got $1 million, $100 million today. So broke, I'm going to have damper for dinner, right? So I'm focused on, you know what? I'm going to make some decisions. I'm going to plant the seed. I'm going to do something about it today and move away. But now what I need to do is I need to turn around. And now that I've taken the first step, I need to focus on what I do want. The dream that you wrote down, that's what you need to focus on. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
As we keep going through that process. But this is the thing. Do I have any momentum yet? No. So the hardest step is what? So here's the cool thing. So what we need to do now is build momentum. Build what, please? Momentum. Build momentum. So this is what we do. So you know the strongman competitions where they put the harness on and they attach to the truck and they get down nice and low and they do the truck pull. You guys know the truck pull basically? You haven't seen it? So it's kind of like that. So I've turned around. I now know what I want. I'm focusing on what I want. Yeah? I'm not looking in the rear vision mirror to see where I've been or focus on the pain, because if I do that and drive down the road, look in the rear vision mirror, what happens? I'm going to crash into a what? A tree or something sooner or later, right? So I need to focus forward, have to laserly focus on what I want, right? Use this to project you forward, sure. Don't forget the story where you came from. Yeah? But from here, what I need to do, so I'm going to get nice and low, like the strongman in the strongman competition. And the first step is the hardest.